segues into my next question. I want to make a statement though. You talked about getting kids to buy in, and I respect that a lot because I have had kids that have bought in and started them in the fourth grade, and then by the time they were in the eighth grade, I didn't have to teach them where to be on the court because they knew where to be on the court. That was already done. I didn't have to start. I was teaching footwork and I was teaching, different skills that I wouldn't have been able to get to had I not had them in the fifth grade.
Yes.
So that's a great philosophy. The other thing I'd like to ask is, we've watched the pro game. I almost find the pro game unwatchable to me anymore, because it's who has by the end of the game, it's who has the best 3-point shooting percentage, basically.
Sure.
And who makes the fewest turnovers.
Yep.
And that has filtered down into the college game. And the college game, it's not unwatchable yet, but it is not the college game that we watched 5 years ago.
Correct.
I mean, it is moving. How have you seen that college and pro, or college and pro, filter down to the high school level? And is it going to change? Do you think it's changing the aspect of the breakdown on all fours defense?
Sure.
That we all grew up.
I think some of it was in the first part where I was talking about the physicality of the game has changed. When coaches can't dictate how a game is going to get called because it's not necessarily called by the rule book, now you start to say, well, if I shoot before they get on me, at least I know I'm not impeded in those types of things. So you got a lot of coaches that believe the first available good shot is the best shot. That's typical philosophy. You may have heard that.
Right.
Okay. And I would say that would be the case if you got a team that can shoot or a player that can shoot. But the problem is, I've seen so many kids that can't actually shoot. Yeah. So maybe that would be good if you had a whole bunch of Steph Currys out there. But Steph Curry is putting 1,500 shots a day on average to his craft.
Right.
And he's getting paid millions of dollars to do it. He was doing that prior to getting paid.
He's doing it, Davidson.
If we can create the athlete that understands the work ethic to get to those levels, absolutely, fire away.
Right.
However, I would also be willing to bet we can't create that athlete largely in high school, because that takes being an adult. It takes being mature, and they're not ready for that in high school. As you get to college, of course, that changes. It changes. You're required to go to 2-a-day practices. Sure, we can say it's about education, but let's be real. I've known people at UK, and we know Louisville. They don't go to school. I mean, So ultimately, they throw parties in dorm rooms is all I know. And stuff.
Eric's in trouble. We might have a fourth member of the team here.